Thanks for staying with us, Punch.
Okay, yes, I do. So the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, has said those found guilty of corruption should not be granted state pardon. He also advised law enforcement agencies against shoddy investigations and tasked them to have their facts before summoning anyone for questioning. Because he said that most times when they bring about bogus claims, instead of like bringing up to 50 counts, make it 5 or 6 and be sure about it so that you can actually get the person. He stated this at a roundtable organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission for State Attorneys Generals in Abuja on Monday. The statement that he quotes, he said, "I would suggest in our next constitution review exercise that we expunge those found guilty of corruption from benefiting from powers of prerogative of mercy to serve as a deterrent to others." Punch reports that under the immediate past administration of ex-President Muhammad Buhari, that ex-governors of Plateau and Taraba states, Joshua Dare and Jolly Nyama, respectively, were convicted and jailed for corruption, but they were pardoned by the federal government. That also during the ex-president Goodluck Jonathan's regime, that he granted state pardon to his political godfather and the ex-Bayelsa state governor, who was also convicted of corruption. That's how will this serve a deterrent to other people from stopping corruption practices, so that when they expunge it from the constitution, it will help our nation, Nigeria. And I second that. I agree.
I thought it because now me complain past when Buhari pardoned those two.
I agree.
I was like, but you said you are coming to fight corruption. How did you let those two go?
So we there to serve as a deterrent to others.
You keep talking about our youth. Our youth are they're doing what they have met in front.
Exactly.
But remember, we also the one that criticized Buhari when he killed some boys many years in the 80s, I heard.
No. Do you remember what happened?
So I remember that
he backdated the law.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was why they criticized him. Because if you tell me that doing this is a death sentence, and I still do it, then I deserve to die. But if you didn't tell me it was a death sentence and I do it, then you kill me. That's what they criticized was not the law itself, but was for backdating it. That's so. Anyway, gunmen have murdered a businessman who his name is Sonny Taxman. He was there, and after they collected 10 million from his family, they said the deceased was from Alo Agu in Igbo Eze, South Local Government area of Enugu State. They said he was kidnapped 3 weeks ago, and he was in his car when they attacked him and took him away. The parents, the family paid 10 million. They said they now dumped his body in a dry gutter. And how they even, people now started filming the body, after it was dumped, and that's how the family even got to know that he was dead. Very, very, very sad story. Very, very sad story.
So since all of you are refusing to talk about Ajero, let me take the story. Yes. The DSS has granted administrative bail to the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero. He was released a few minutes before midnight, issued by the organized labor, before the ultimatum that was issued by the organized labor. The democracy activist and presidential candidate Omo Yele announced this on his Twitter, says that the fastest regime of BAT has released the NLC headquarters president. The Democratic Party, and New Nigeria Party, and other parties also following the administration, the president trying to get this story right. But the bottom line is that he has been released, and hopefully we'll see what happens after that.
Just before midnight, yes. Because NLC had threatened. But I think for me, it's very important that the DSS come out with a story about why they are arresting, because people like us are going to start now looking, so you cannot criticize government again. Because that's what it is looking like.
Well, people have been criticizing government, they're not arresting a lot of them now, but don't we criticize government all the time? So we must also trust that the government is doing.
That's why they should tell us
much more.
Okay, what has it done?
Of this nature, you have to release something on what you're investigating.
Exactly.
Yes,
no.
It's even possible you can investigate him from wherever he is. Why do you want to arrest him every time?
Okay, let's move on now to Daily Sun. Let's find a story of not taken. I want to take this NLC properly, but I'll probably read later. Igbo youths worried over Southeast governor's silence on Nnamdi Kanu's detention. No pardon for those guilty of corruption, says federal government. Bandits kill 5, kidnap 13 others in Kaduna. FG exists universities. There's research grants from the TSA, that's tertiary. Oshun Monarch, 4 others docked over alleged illegal gold mining. And shake-up as NAF appoints new branch chiefs, AOCs, commanders, and others. Okay, which
Okay, so congratulations to ASU as the directive written contained in the letter signed by the acting executive secretary of the National Universities Commission, Chris Mayaki, to about 6 vice chancellors dated September 6. The federal government has directed the exclusion of third-party research grant funds from federal universities and research institutions from the single account. So now these funds can be deposited in commercial banks by the researchers. These were some of the demands ASU had brought. According to the Minister for Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, had conveyed the President's directive to the Coordinating Minister for Finance, Wale Edu, mandating this exemption. And he said the directive grants universities and research institutions the autonomy to operate their endowment funds accounts in commercial banks by themselves. This is expected to enhance financial autonomy for universities and research institutions. So congratulations to ASU. I hope this improves our condition. Let the researchers bring results and solve problems that are local to us here.
So I have the coalition of Southeast youth leaders has expressed worry over the silence of the Southeast governors after their promise to fight for the release of the leader of the IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in detention. The President General of the Igbo group, Goodluck Ibem, in a statement yesterday said that after the meeting that was held in Enugu State by all the governors, on which this was the majority of the talks to release Nnamdi Kanu, that till now nothing has been done. They are pleading with the federal government and the Southeast governors to haken to this task because it's really affecting the economic situation of the Southeast. The sit-at-home on Mondays is affecting them. The federal government doesn't seem to be anything about it, and they are pleading that something should be done. This is how long now that on Mondays there's supposed to be a very, very active day in the Igbo land, in the Southeast, for marketers, for traders, economic activities. Nothing is happening. Please, they are pleading.
I have a question. What's the guarantee that if we release Nnamdi Kanu today, the sit-at-home will stop and economic activities will resume? What's that guarantee? Do we have that? Is it very clear?
Yes, because they're saying that the only reason why they are doing that is like a protest. It's their own way of protesting that this should be done. So if this is done, then things can get back to normal.
Remember that.
That people have not hijacked.
They release him, at least so that wounds will heal.
Heal, yes.
You know, that's
too long.
For me, it's too long.
It's too long.
And you know, there's this division between the Igbos and the Yorubas that I do not like. It should not be happening, you know. It didn't happen in my time, and to see it happening now makes me.
I don't think it's there, Mikey. I think it's a mirror. I think they're just being
incited
amplifying it.
online.
I don't think it's real.
It's incited online.
I think people just make it look at it. It doesn't really. We have it all
the
the time.
intermarriages are many, the interactions and businesses are many.
I think politicians.
So it's just small elements with influence on social media will not let us hear what. Why inciting these differences? They really don't exist.
Yeah.
People do businesses with inter-tribe and sit and do well. In fact, they married the children. Went to an event where, you know, we saw a lot of first ladies married to Yoruba governors.
So you know how in your own small circle, maybe you have an Igbo friend. Like, you this Igbo stupid girl. That's what you do between the two of you. Somebody now take that out, post it on social media and make it look as if, oh, Mariah abused her. I thought you knew it's something else. That's what's happening because we yab each other, we flag, but they are making that, they're leveraging on that to cause division.
But that's my fear because the what we see is this division and it's amplified on social media. Because, look, I remember when Made was going to marry his wife. His wife is Igbo. I mean, nobody said anything. No, we didn't think anything. She was a human being like us.
Not the first Igbo wife now. Your Kwame.
Kwame's wife is Igbo. You know, so.
But also realize that a lot of things still strive from the war, and then that the Biafran war, and that people history, the Igbos have really not healed.
Exactly.
But
They have
but
not,
that's the
but
reality.
even from the Biafra
Yeah, that's
war,
the reality.
Yorubas were not the opposition.
Yes, but they feel that there was
the
no
books.
support. Like that's why I said when you read history, Igbos feel like that they didn't get the support they were
Support
supposed
from
to
the
get.
Yorubas.
That's it, yeah.
They feel that
Either way, I think everybody has their own version. And out of respect, one of the reasons why we do this show is that everybody's version must be heard, understood, and respected. And there must be an open conversation about this. And I think that's what we learned. There's anything I learned from the conference I went to in Dubai, where the lady from Kenya was saying, listen, when they started, they called the Hutsis, everybody came together. And you'll be able to confront the person who raped your child and say, I forgive you. Look him in the eye. They must go through that tough healing process before they could birth a new nation. So that healing hasn't happened. And it's important for us to come out and say where it hurts.
Yes.
So all these national conferences are doing, they're not really hitting the heart of the matter because until we heal through that part. That part. So somebody will just come up on social media and say things and then we get
because the Igbos died, though.
Yeah.
If you see videos,
But it's not our hot topic this morning.
it's not. But I mean, I've seen videos of it, and man, it was
Our
terrible.
final paper this morning, and the story that has to be told properly. The Nigerian Tribune, let's find a story of not take. Man nabbed for allegedly killing grandparents and uncle in Ibadan. Bandits attack Kaduna Hospital, kidnapped nurses and patients. FG remands Osun traditional ruler, 4 others for alleged illegal gold mining in Ondo. And VAT remains 7.5%, says Edo. Which story?
Okay, so the 37-year-old man, Ahmed, his surname withheld, was arrested by the police in Oyo. According to the police public relations officer, Adewale Osifeso, he said that this young man killed his grandparents, was alleged to have killed his grandparents and his uncle at the Apete area in Ido local government area of that state. And the incident was something that would have led to his lynching by neighbors because they saw the grandparents had been beheaded, all 3. His grandparents and his uncle had been beheaded. And
Can you imagine?
so the community had rallied, but the police were able to come in immediately. He's presently at the state CID on confirmed report. He's also being investigated to see whether, because they couldn't ascertain why he beheaded them. It wasn't clear whether it was for ritual or for anything, but he had a machete and just beheaded 3 of his family members. But now, it's also reported that the grandparents had visual impairment, and he was the only one who had access to the house. They're investigating further to see what led to what, and whether he's mentally stable.
Okay, so the traditional ruler of Osun State, Oba Taufik Osun Makinde, was on Monday arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja over alleged illegal gold mining in Lega community area of Ondo State. The Oba was arraigned by the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, along with 4 others on 2 count charges. Others arraigned were Shehu Mustafa, Sabiru Hassim, Dan Baba Ibrahim, and Ade Olab Global Resources Limited. The AGF accused the 5 defendants of conspiring with the others at large on August 25th, 2024, to engage in illegal mining resources known as gold at the Ogunlepo mining site in Lega community of Ondo State. So there are lots of illegal miners, which we know, but I'm happy that gradually we are now arresting them and arraigning them.
Onto what now? Why don't you get royalties from them instead of, because the ones where they fly private jets, which I'm not supporting any form of crime, but we see the small fries to catch. We don't see the big ones.
And from the small fries,
people who carry chopper to Zamfara and pick gold, we see what's online. We've not, that's not had closure.
The big ones cannot work without the small ones. So if all the rest of the small ones, the big ones will have to
They open up the book.
That's all we can take.
Look at those big ones that we still haven't heard, the ones in Ibadan that caused that explosion. We have not heard anything about that one.
Front page review.
They are back.
When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.